Yogi Gem number 3, you don't come to yoga to become a hunchback. Just watch me as I practice here, trying to demonstrate a few key ideas about forward bending. What I really want you to look at is, here I am relaxing my shoulders, I've folded forward and I'm not struggling to try and reach my toes. I'm making sure that my shoulders stay very free so that my neck and my upper back, right where I'm touching now, doesn't become all hunched as I bend forward. Actually doesn't matter whether or not you can touch the floor at all or touch your toes in any forward bend. It's much more important that you keep your spine feeling long and free. So I'm doing all sorts of weird things here with my shoulders to just show you that they are free. I'm drawing them back towards my waist so that my neck stays very free. Now, you might not be able to bend forward so much, so you might have to bend your knees. See there again, bending my knees, spine is long and I'm keeping my shoulders relaxed. Now see, as I straighten my legs here, that the shape of my spine doesn't actually change. That's the really important thing. I'm trying to keep my spine relaxed and free as I straighten my legs. If your legs won't straighten that much, you might develop a hunch where I'm putting my hand there if you try to straighten them. So I'm going to show you here what happens to a lot of people. Really trying to struggle to reach the floor, and so they hunch themselves. Yeah, I'm saying this is a little no-no. There we go. Relax the spine, it's long. Hunch and unhunch. Shoulders back, hunch up and bend the knees if you need, and then sometimes you'll find that long spine. So you might have to bend your knees a little bit to be able to unhunch yourself. Hunch. No. There we go, repeating it just for good measure. And bend the knees. And then I've got some more space in my spine, it can be long. Then from there, as long as my spine stays long, I can then start to straighten my legs. But as soon as I start to hunch, then I stop straightening my legs anymore. It's more important that you keep your spine healthy. Alright, let's have a look at what happens to us when we sit down and we take this forward bend into sitting. I'm still thinking about the same things. There we go, relax shoulders, relax neck, upper back is going to stay free. And I'm folding forward, staying long, doing all sorts of weird things with my arms just to demonstrate that I've got movement in my spine. It's mobility that's important and freedom. I don't ever want to get stuck in a forward bend. So there we go, I've come forward, spine is long, it's free, shoulders are back, neck is free, neck is part of your spine, remember. There we go, I'm doing little ripples in my spine, little ripples in my shoulders, just to show that I'm not stuck. I never want to get so deep into a forward bend that I couldn't free my spine and let it move around and dance. Sometimes what happens to us if our hamstrings and lower back are tight, there we get that very familiar posture you've probably seen or maybe even felt. Center of gravity moves back behind my sitting bones, and because I think I need to reach my toes, I hunch up. Now, if I were to keep this hunched posture and stand up, there you go, that's what I'd look like, which is not a pretty sight. So I don't come to yoga to reinforce that hunch. There we go, I come to yoga so I can get freedom in my spine. So when I bend forward, in any forward bend, I don't want to cultivate a hunch. I don't want to shrug my shoulders up and put a little tortoise shell on my back, as my yoga teacher Patty often says. So I'm demonstrating here one way you can maybe do a forward bend without hunching. So I've come in, bent my knees just like I was doing in standing and squatting, and lay my chest along my thighs, shoulders move back, neck is free, and then I start to wiggle my sitting bones back, but the shape of my spine doesn't change. Shape of my spine doesn't change. And I straighten my legs without changing the shape of my spine. If you start to develop that hunch, then it's probably an indicator that you've come too far. Alright, bending forward here, you can see that I'm trying to lift up and out of my pelvis. There is a little bit of roundness in my spine. It's not ramrod straight. I don't want it to be very stiff. I want it to be free. It's never going to be completely straight. Okay, there I am, standing up. Very carefully come into my squat, which I was just doing in sitting, and spine stays long, tail moves up, neck is free. I do all sorts of hair shaking maneuvers. There we go. Namaste.